Hey, what's up guys, Just Boost here and welcome back to another One Piece video. It's been a while. Store Championship season has been busy and I've been performing terribly at all the Store Championships I played. But this weekend, first weekend of the new banlist, I actually managed to win one. I went 5-0 and got the promo Luffy. And I played it playing the most inventive deck in the format, I want to say, which is Zoro. So yeah, not exactly the most exciting of decks, basically like the gatekeeper deck of the format, I think. Even after the banlist, I still think it is. I think my build is, I wouldn't even say it like super interesting because it's just basically the new build of the build that was the most popular pre-banlist, but I've seen a lot of people who are moving more towards like the rush build or playing more straw hat stuff, and I'm not. I'm actually still going full into the Whitebeard engine of the deck, and I still think it performed very well. You know, being very fast as well as very controlly, and I was really happy with how the deck performed. Yeah, again, since it's not the most interesting deck in the world, let's just kind of hop into the deck profile, and then after that I'm gonna just talk about my matchups real quick and let you know what I think of the format. Alright, diving into the actual deck list, just showing off the cool winner card here. Really beautiful artwork in my opinion. Obviously not very good, but that's not really the point. And then just the leader, which, you know, I might as well show. But yeah, diving into like the actual deck list. First, for one cost, we have the 4 Izo. Like I said, I'm still playing like the Whitebeard package focused build of the deck, just because I think it's like the most mid-rangey, which is like the way I like to play this this specific leader. And you know, this has just basically the best targets in the format, I think, in the format 5-drop Marco. But there's also some other good targets which I'm going to be showing later, which will, you know, pretty much not surprisingly also include the 9-drop Whitebeard and 4-drop Marco. But yeah, I'll show this in a bit. And then for the other Searcher 1-drop cards, still just the playset of Buggy. I mean, this is just basically Sunny that also has an on-play search effect for an event card, which is of course very nice, and it also just helps with the consistency, you know, of the Izo by searching the Whitebead Pirates event, which I'm still playing, and I know a lot of people are not playing that anymore, but you know, it's obviously just very early into the new format if you want. So you might see more of that. Then moving on, we have 4 Makino, you know, not too much to say about this, just a 2k counter with an amazing ability that just helps you close out the game. And I'm also playing double Magura. I wish I could play more, but I want to play more of the mid-range cards, so I honestly think 2 is fine, and essentially you're playing actually 6 of this card, right? I actually didn't see it all today. I think I drew it once and then I just used it to counter. But yeah, it definitely helps you in closing out the game. Makino definitely put in the work. And then for more 2k counter, I'm playing for Otama. Again, I am playing the mid-range cards in Marco and Fire Fist, and this just has very nice synergy with those cards, as well as being a 2k counter, which is obviously nice. And then it's basically, I'm just playing 6 of both these cards in a way, right? Obviously, like, Gordon and Otama are a little bit different than Magura and Makino are to each other, because this has like higher stats and it reduces with more, which definitely the -3000 does come up in some situations, because for example you can reduce law by 3000, so you can actually pop it by with the Marco, and you can't reach that threshold with Otama, but then with Otama you can still reach the Fire Fist threshold. And yeah, it's just like a consistency thing, right? Where basically, like, I know it's not exactly the same cards, but I'm playing 6 of these type of cards, which I like, because it means if I'm searching with something like Dadon, I have like a reasonable chance to get to the card that I want to be hitting with the search. And since I did show the 2k counters, I might also as well just show Jozu as well, because this is the last 2k counter I'm playing, so I'm playing 10 in total for Makino, for Otama, and 2 Jozu, which is literally just a 2k counter that's searchable by Izo. So that's it for like the search engine, as well as some of the control options of the deck. Then moving on to, yeah, don't really have to say much about this. This card's just amazing, and as you can see, I'm playing a lot of targets. as are most Zoro lists, right? So yeah, not gonna waste too much time about that. Talking about that, then you know, this guy is back, Vista. This card probably I feel was not good enough pre-ban list, but now that we, you know, you do have to fill out the missing spaces from stuff like 4-drop Marco to have enough Whitebead Pirate targets for Izo. I thought this card was good because I also figured LoL might be getting a little bit more popular going into the format, because the decks it was kind of competing with for being the best deck have been neutered and LoL hasn't at all. And this card's obviously good against LoL, it's also good against Zoro, which I expect would get even more popular compared to Whitebead, but I actually might be wrong on that, judging on results from this weekend. But yeah, honestly this card was just good against combos well with Otama and Gordon. Yeah, not much to say. I honestly felt that playing 2 of this was absolutely fine. Then I'm just playing 2 of the Roronoa. Honestly, in this version of the deck you can just omit it all, in my opinion, but it does help you push for game and you know, just pressure the opponent where they are basically like forced to outdiss on the next turn instead of attacking the leader, while you also try to, you know, push for damage. But I think 2 honestly was fine. There wasn't really any moments where I was like, man, I really wish I had Roronoa, even when I didn't have access to it. Then, just the 1 blocker Marco. I still think this card is obviously very good, even if it's still at 1. And I'm also still playing Teach, also just because he's my favorite One Piece character. But I do think it's good against stuff like Whitebeard, which I expect to not disappear entirely, and I honestly think after this weekend it will be more popular again than this weekend, so you might want to up discount. Didn't really perform super well today because I didn't play into any Whitebeards, but it's still a target for Izo, right? And a big body in a deck that's kind of lacking in that department sometimes, and it does help with the game push when you know you sack off the 4k power guy. And then this is just the best card in the deck, the 5-drop Marco. It helps you control the field. It's really hard to out. It's basically 7, you know, if you have it done under the leader. Yeah, shouldn't have to explain too much about that. And I'm also still playing the 1 Newgate. Just mostly it's because it's very good into some weird matchups, like blue, for example. I just want to have the option to, you know, to draw it, even if it's just at 1. You do have a lot of search cards, so also if you getting to it are reasonable, especially in my build. Yeah, not much to say about that either. Then move on to the events. I'm playing the Radical Beam, the full playset of Guard Point. Before the list I was on 4 of the Radical Beam and 2 Guard Point, but I mean, we can't play more of this anymore, so I guess this will have to do, and it was still pretty good. I did consider playing, what's it called, Red Hawk, which I think is a very good card, a counter event, but I'm not playing something like Nami to search for it, and then you have to keep 2 done open, which is not, you know, optimal. But I definitely think that's a good card, and depending on how the format shapes up, it might be worth playing. Then I played Triple Fire Fist, combos really well with Gordon and Otama. Is another target for Izo. Honestly, playing 4 might not be bad, but again, kind of depends on how the format is gonna shape up. I think 3 was fine for the matchup that I played anyway. 3 was perfect, I think. And then the last event card and last card of the deck as well is the 4 of the Whitebead Pirates. Again, just want to play as many targets for Izo as well, not as possible, but you know that you have a reasonable chance of just hitting with Izo every time, and this just helps you consistency-wise getting to the best card in your deck, which is the 5-cost Marco. And, you know, you can just pitch it for Fire Fist or for Marco, any of the Marcos actually, if it's dead in your hand or if you have like a done spare. Like, it never feels good to waste like a done to play this to dig for something like a Josu or something, but, you know, it is what it is, and I was kind of happy playing 4 of this, to be honest. So yeah, let me just tell you guys about the matchups and then close out the video. Alright, so that was the deck list. As I said, talking about my matchups, I did play a lot of red, as is to be expected. Even though I have to admit, in the Netherlands, yellow is very popular. Pre-banlist it was like the most popular color, but now more people have seem to go to red, which is interesting. Anyway, in the first round I played against Luffy, which I won relatively quickly. Also mentioned how Zoro is a pretty bad matchup. Now round 2 I played the mirror match. 2 I played the mirror match, which is interesting. Anyway, in the first round I played against Luffy, which I won relatively quickly. Also mentioned how Zoro is a pretty bad matchup. Now round 2 I played the mirror match. And I don't really even remember how this game went down, but I was in control for most of it, to be honest. Just, you know, playing control with Firefist and Marco and stuff. Then the round after that, I played against Katakuri, against a very good player, and the game was pretty close, but I won in the end just because I could, you know, pressure him enough to where he couldn't comfortably drop the big mom, and once he did, like, it was basically too late and he couldn't really get control of the game. Then in the fourth round I played against Lal, which again was a very good player, and this was probably the closest game of the entire event. But he made like I don't even know if it was a misplay, but like in the final turn I had 2 done open and a buggy on field left to attack. I attacked with my leader with 7k, and he went to block with his Lal and also discarded a 2k counter to make it survive. So he was left with 1 card in hand, and then I played Makino, and I could just guarantee win there with the buggy. So that was nice. But after the game we talked a little bit, and even if he would have sacrificed the Lal, he couldn't have gained me the turn after because I had like multiple card points in hand, and I wouldn't have tried to do the game push. So yeah, very very close game, very fun. And then the finals was Zoro mirror match. He played more of like the rush build with, I keep forgetting the name, the Haruta? Like the Whitebead Pirates card that lets you attach a Don to a character or a leader. But I just, truth be told, I drew way better than he did, so it was yeah, it was a relatively easy game, but just because I got more lucky, basically. Which is sometimes how it goes. But yeah, I do hope you guys enjoyed this this deck list, even though it was just Zoro, but I just want to show it off since I finally won the Store Championship. And I do think this deck is fun in a way, but I don't like how it gatekeeps a lot of other decks out of the format. Like for example Black, which is the deck I would like to be playing actually, because I think the playstyle was really fun. But basically it's impossible to beat Zoro, which is just a little bit annoying. And honestly, probably the banlist didn't quite hit Zoro hard enough as it could have. I honestly feel the Zoro leader might be ban worthy just because that blanket plus 1000 to anything, no restrictions, is kind of crazy. But it is what it is, I guess. Probably in OPO4 format we'll see a little bit more of a diverse metagame. And for now it seems we're stuck with basically the Zoro Whitebeards of the world still being the top decks, and then below that, you know, Katakuri. Big Mom is also kind of good but underrated, I think. Anyway, just rambling, that was the deck list. Let me know what you think about the deck in the comments if you want to see any other deck profiles, and then I'll see you in the next one. Bye!